Welcome to the Sabrosa podcast, your underground hub. Welcome back to another episode of the Sabrosa podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Very special episode today, everybody. We got Hershey in the building.
What's good, y'all? What's good? We here.
Louis, listen,
made
he's
it.
in Jersey, y'all.
We made it to Jersey. Shout out to Jersey.
Yeah, shout out to Jersey.
Word.
And he just did a performance for us on the show. Stay tuned for that. You already know.
Word.
A nice little 1-2 for y'all. You feel me? He blessed
1-2.
us.
Something
So
like.
stay tuned for that. Thank you for that, by the way.
No problem.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm just blessed to be here. You know, to wake up this morning and come chat with you and
I
in
appreciate
this nice
you.
space.
Thank you.
Congrats to everything that you got going on.
Thank you.
You've definitely been a supporter
Thank
for
you.
a minute now. Word.
I appreciate you, Hershey. I
Def,
mean, last time that this is not the first time that you've been on the Sabrosa podcast. So
Facts.
first, welcome back.
Facts.
So thank you so
Glad to
much
be
for
back.
coming back. I
Word.
appreciate you.
We
and
came
now
up,
you're
too.
here in the
Yeah.
seat by yourself. So it's your turn
Word.
today.
I got one of these little arm microphones
Yeah.
now. Word.
We finna get into some shit.
Word.
And we have a lot of ground to cover, but we definitely gonna get into first, I definitely want to give you props on your new project that you released, the Cosmic Rock.
Appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that.
Like, first question that I have for you with this
Word.
project is, why did you choose to do 14 songs? Because I feel like that's dope that you put so many
Word.
on there.
Honestly, like when I was making the project, I just kept making songs until I was like satisfied with the amount that I feel like, this project would represent. Every time I drop a project, I try to like, really tap into like a kind of cohesive sound. And those 14 tracks were the tracks that really reflected what I was going for. There is actually 2 bonus tracks on the CD. Which is right here.
Make sure y'all listen.
Word. CD right there. You
It's
know what I'm
dope.
saying? You get the CD. You got the download code on Bandcamp. You know what I'm saying? Each CD comes with this fly poster you see right
The
here.
fly poster right there, y'all. Listen, you guys. Why did you choose
Lighter
to-
as well. Lighter as well. Comes with that.
That artwork is very colorful. I love it.
Word.
It's very like creative.
Appreciate that. Shout out to Charlie the Third. You crazy for this one? That's his social media name, Charlie the Third. He's an amazing artist. We met back on Twitter a couple years ago. Yeah, he's really dope. And like I knew that he would be able to bring my vision to life, like in the visual sense, and he did. He literally he smashed it out of the park.
It's dope. It got the dollar signs. It has like a
Word.
old school car with like
Yeah, word.
people in it.
Word,
like it's
yeah.
going like down the street with like the Asian writing.
Yeah,
It's,
like I
dope.
literally,
and
like-
it has like a 99 cents sign
Yeah.
with like is that lady like drunk or something?
I don't,
Like, I don't
honestly,
know.
like I don't, because honestly, I gave him the idea, and like
dope.
he took his creativity and just ran with what I was telling him. I mean, we really went back and forth about what exactly
Yeah.
I wanted it to look like, and like he just
Executed it.
he took it further than I was like, oh snap, this is dope.
To the next level. Like it's very
Yeah.
detailed, very
Word,
nice.
to the
like,
next level.
That's why I'm glad that we have this here to show
Facts.
everybody, because it's like this is what the art is about. And
Word, absolutely.
Like the art goes
Yeah.
with the music.
Nah,
hand in
word, that's a
hand,
fact. That's a fact.
And this is a perfect representation of that.
Yeah, like I've always been into visual art, but I never really was like nice with it. But but I love visual art. I love comic books. Love video games. Love abstract art. So all of that kind of influences my music as well.
Yeah.
So when someone could bring that to life, it's like I always try to work with people like that.
Yeah. What's your favorite video game?
My favorite video game? Oh shit, that's hard. Right now, I'm playing The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which is a GameCube game.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
replaying that. Yeah, but like, that's one of my favorite games of all time.
That's cool.
Sonic Adventure 2 as well, but that's a whole. I could go for days with that question, but
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, 'cause I know that you
Word.
like gaming, because
Facts.
obviously the references in your
Yes.
music, and we'll get more into
yes,
that.
you definitely can.
You can tell, like, what is it about gaming that you love, and why do you include it in your
I love that
music?
question. Honestly, like when I was a kid, that was the way to escape, like, the world. And not to say that shit was like so depressing that I had to do that, but when you're in your house, you can't go outside, you play some video games and like it just takes you to a different place.
Yeah.
And it my mom always said this too, like it kind of like I feel like it kind of teaches children in a way. It teaches you like hand-eye coordination, and teaches you how to read a little bit. Especially games that have like a lot of text in it, like Zelda had a lot of text, like that was like helping me read and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the music, that I can't forget that. Like, video games is part of the reason like I got really into hip hop. Yeah, it's like one of the reasons why. Like a big reason.
Really?
Hell yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, like
because of the soundtracks, like
yeah, exactly. Like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, that one specifically.
That's a legendary one.
Yeah, the soundtrack on that was crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
soundtrack on that was crazy.
I was never into skating.
Word.
I was tapped in with Tony Hawk because of the music that he had on his games and stuff.
Like that game made me want to skateboard and get into hip hop, but like I wasn't really that nice to skateboard, but I tried.
He even had a sidekick that I got. Like he had a sidekick.
Yeah, word.
And it was a Tony Hawk. Yeah, it was like blue. It was dope. It was like the sidekick LX, the Tony Hawk one. That ass.
But I think I remember that shit.
Yeah,
like that was a whole era. Like that was a whole era.
Yeah, I was in high school and I had one of those.
Word.
That shit. That's what I'm saying. Like that ass was like, I fell into the trap, but it was just so dope. Like I feel like the culture, like he was doing.
Nah, he was. He was tapped in. The people that were making the game, they was really tapped in, and like going back to that, it's like that's kind of what got me, because I saw it. Games like NBA Street, Sonic Adventure 2. The game I mentioned earlier, like they had just these crazy soundtracks.
Even Grand Theft Auto, they had the music,
of course.
The good music, and the NBA games always have the good music too.
Facts, yeah. So all of that got me into like the hip hop and stuff, and then just music in general. Video games played a big part in that, but also like I said, comic books, TV, the Adult Swim. Adult Swim.
You like Family Guy?
I love Family Guy.
Yeah.
I love it kind of it kind of aged a little bit. No, I'm not even gonna say aged. The later seasons were just not as good as the other ones, but that shit is gold. The original seasons, that shit is gold.
I feel like TV is not how it was.
Like, where. That's facts. There's some hidden gems and like there's some cool shows out, but I feel you. It was a different era.
Right.
In the 2000s, that was a different era.
Right. Facts. What influenced this new project that you dropped, the Cosmic Rock? What was the creative process for you with that?
Okay, what influenced it was definitely the past like year and a half. Really ever since I kind of got into making beats, but definitely the past 2 years I got really into like listening to funk music. Like I've been a funk music fan, classic shit like Parliament and Zapp and Roger, stuff like that. But I started really digging into it, doing the research and watching like James Brown documentaries and Parliament documentaries. Yeah, and I was really breaking it down. And then, so that's one.
James Brown. He's the king of funk, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He is definitely the king of that.
He's like.
Yeah. Godfather soul, Godfather funk, In a way, you could even say the Godfather hip hop in a way. And there was an interview I just saw the other day. He actually said that himself. Like, he said, I made hip hop. He was arrogant as hell, but I love James Brown. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I was studying him, George Clinton, people like that, and just listen to a lot of funk records, and then that was one thing, and then as that I mentioned in the last time, I used to dance and stuff. Like I still dance, but not like competitively. But I was really into like popping, breaking, still am, still a big fan of that, cultural aspect, and then. When I was originally dancing, I was dancing to a lot of electro funk, which is like the 80s funk, the 80s mixed with like EDM kind of.
That's like fire though.
Yeah, it was a cool era with that music. That was really big. The early hip hop was really big electronic music. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people hate on new hip hop for being all electronic, but that's how it was back in the 80s. Yeah. So
it was more like because they would play it in the clubs.
Yeah, people were dancing and shit. Yeah, and that was music I was dancing to when I was growing up. I just loved it. It was like the fast electric boogie. So I was like, I was getting back into that, because I did a lot of beat tapes where it was like, the hip hop beats, the boom bap, the drumless loops, and I love that to death. But I was like, I want to try to really tap into making something that's like funk influenced, but it's like still hip hop, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I sought to do with that.
Yeah, and then like do something different. Like dare to be different. You know what
Facts.
I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like
Basically,
test
yeah.
your
I was like,
creativity a little bit. Like
yeah, I was like, I could just make more music the way I was making it, and of course, I'm gonna continue. I'm always gonna make different shit that whatever I want to hear.
exactly.
But at that moment, the past, year, I've really been into making funk music and like trying to learn more about it, learn about the history of it, and then like the electro, yeah, bringing
Yeah.
that to kind of like our underground space. I don't really hear people do electro music like that nowadays. Like people
No.
do, but you gotta like search for it.
Yeah, the person, I mean, like, obviously, like, the only mainstream person that I know would, like, dig through that type was, like, Kanye.
Word, yeah, facts, yeah. He definitely did experiment with that.
Because he did mad documentaries, like, mad interviews early on talking about that. That's the only
Yeah.
reason why I know that. Like, if he never talked about it, I wouldn't. And then you can hear it, like, a little bit, like, in his earlier stuff.
Yeah,
like,
nah, yeah,
like
nah.
Through the Wire, like, he did the
Yeah.
Chaka Khan.
Right, yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like
Like
that.
that was like him chopping up soul.
Yeah, so
which is something that
which is
I've
more on the
definitely
soul
been
side,
doing.
obviously.
No, yeah, but yeah, I feel what you're saying
Yeah.
though. Like he did have a period of time where he was doing like the
Yeah,
electronic
but
sound.
like you said, it's not now. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. You
no.
don't really hear, like I haven't really heard too much of like the type of electronic funk that I was like going for. So I was like, I kind of want to just bring that, bring it back in my own way. Obviously it's still very much. I feel like it's still in line with my previous stuff. Is just more cohesively sounding like this. This
Yeah.
upbeat type of rhythm, really dance influence. And that's just the mindset I was on.
And
I wanted
that's
to make it very different from my last project.
right, and that's
Yeah.
also what you were feeling at the moment too.
Yeah,
And
I
it
was
is
literally
different
feeling
from
it.
your last project
Yeah,
too.
yeah. The Desert
I-
Indica though, go check that out though.
Yeah, literally.
that shit is dope too. Like that's like more of like the
It is
boom
dope.
bap, the dust, it had like an ambient vibe to it. And I was like, I want like basically a yin and yang. Like,
Yeah.
this is like some meditative music and this is some dance music,
Nah, it's dope. Like
Word.
this is actually I feel like I'm gonna play it. This is my favorite one.
Oh shit. Word. This Magic Heart.
Yeah.
Word. Nah, that was a good one. That was
This is always my favorite.
Nah, that was one of them ones. That was definitely one of the ones when I made Desert Indica for real. Like, yeah.
This is fire.
I appreciate that. Nah,
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate that. For
Yeah,
real.
like that
I love
one
that beat.
from that specific tape is so hard. Like that's another question that I had for you. But I feel like you answered it. It was just how you felt at the moment. But I do want to get more in depth, like, because there's such a difference in between both projects.
Yeah, word.
You know,
Word.
like were you in a different headspace in both, or you just like besides trying something new, were you like trying to do that, or it just happened?
Well, that's a good question. It's kind of a combination of both. It was like I put out Desert Indica, and I think I just kind of I chilled out for a little bit. I was just doing shows, stuff like that, and then I kind of was like, okay, I want to make something that I want to like release in the summertime. So once I said that to myself, it was like, okay, well, if it's gonna be something summertime, it got to go with that kind of energy. We outside, driving on the highway with the windows down.
Yep.
Going to the rooftop parties, chilling in the street till 4 a.m. Shit like that. And then I, like I said, at the same time I was into the funk and stuff, And while I was doing Desert Indica, I was really into like psychedelic music and like all of this is from the 70s. Like that's like the illest era to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, the fun 70s music to me is the funk because that's when it started, So I was just digging through all that. And then I kind of was like, okay, let me actually try to really lock in and make something like that. Because I always wanted to, but I was just so, okay, boom bap, loops and, experimented with other things too. I've done house music before. And there was some house on here as well. So I was like, okay, let me make something that's like that up-tempo vibe, but like the whole thing. Like
Yeah.
I usually have like a joint or two on my older projects that's like that, like a beat. But I was like, what if I do a whole tape like that?
Yeah, because
That was my mentality.
when I heard the tape,
Yeah.
I thought to myself, like, this is dope because this gives the opportunity for a different lane of artists to
Yeah.
get on your beats type
Hell
thing.
yeah.
You know what
Word.
I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And I'm like, that's dope because
Word.
it's like different from, what most people
Right.
now in the underground are doing. So I feel like
Yeah.
if you do think outside the box,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Word.
You know, and then that generates different results, right? Like
Hell
doing
yeah.
different
Nah,
things.
honestly, like I can honestly say, like just putting this out and doing it the way I've been doing it, you know, with the rollout and the way I rolled it out. You know, I was experimenting for myself. You know, like I'm an independent artist. You know, I got my own brand. You know, shout out to 7M. You know,
Yeah, I
talk
was
about
literally
that.
that was one of the
But you
things that
know,
I was gonna ask you
you know, we
about.
definitely get into that. I already
Yeah.
know. But you know, for me, it was like, you know, I'm definitely experimenting with something new, a new approach to how I release it. And it's been dope. It's been a fun
Yeah.
ride, you know. It's still going, obviously. You know,
Yeah.
this is a part of that.
Yeah. No, this is
So,
literally
nah, word. So, you
for the
know,
people to be tapped in and
nah,
know
facts, you
what you
know.
have going on, because I feel like
Yeah,
you have like a mystique to you. Like you're
word.
kind of like mysterious.
Nah, word.
You
I've
know
been
what I'm
told that.
saying? So just
Yeah.
you
Noob
like
Saibot.
doing this, I appreciate it. Like, yeah.
Word.
And what how come you came up with the idea to do a physical product
Yeah,
versus
yeah, I did my first physical product with Desert Indica. That was on a cassette tape, which I also have on me as well. But
shout out?
yeah, always keep your stuff on you when you're doing these
Yeah,
physical
stay
things.
ready so you never gotta get
Word.
ready.
Facts, and it's happened to me. It's happened to me before. I'm outside and someone's like, "Yo, you got the tape?" I'm like,
Yeah, so it's
"Oh."
better you
It's
have
happened
a
to me like
couple
3
on you.
times already.
Yeah.
Like, you know
So
what
you're
I
like,
mean?
you know what? I would just have
So
it on
yeah,
me.
I just have it on me. Yeah, but like, so with this project, I was like, I wanted to level up. You know, I ain't even gonna say level up because cassettes are ill as hell. You know, that's its own collector's item in its own right. And shout out to all the cassette collectors. So I wanted to do CD. You know, I'll be honest. I originally wanted to do vinyl, but you know, I was like, okay, let me do CDs first to just kind of see
To
how that
see.
goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did it on CD. You know, grew up. You know, we all grew up in the '90s, 2000s. You know, so we grew up with CDs, and obviously it's more of a collector's media now. You know, like some might say it's outdated, but it's almost like the type of music I'm doing. You know, I feel like it sounds ill on those kind of formats because you know it is some, you know, what people would call retro or nostalgic. You know, that's what a
Yeah.
lot of it falls into. So, but it's just natural for me. Like I've always heard that since I was a kid. You know, I used to have the high top fade and all that, but that's just me. It's just
Yeah.
been my personality. You know,
Yeah.
so like a throwback. So I was like, you know, let me just have it on CD. You know, I definitely want to keep doing physicals. You know, whenever it feels right.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
it's just, it depends on the energy of whatever
Yeah,
you're
yeah. You know,
dropping.
like I said, it was all part of the. It's all part
Yeah.
of the experiment. I was
Yeah.
like, you know, let me
But
have.
there's a lane for it, so I feel like
Facts.
why not? If there's a market for it with the
Hell yeah.
people that support you, or
That's a
even
fact.
people that potentially will support you, because
Exactly.
your greatest supporter is a stranger at the end of the day.
That
Like
is
you're always gonna,
absolutely true.
you know what I'm saying? So
That's a fact.
I feel like if there's a lane for it, then why not provide?
Hell yeah.
Provide the product.
Word.
People are always looking for new music, and people are always looking for beats
Yeah.
and to collaborate
Original
or whatever.
music, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For new music. So let's get it more into just you as a creative, because
Hell yeah.
you also like you produce, but you also have a media like you're part of Seven Emeralds
Yeah.
Media.
Yeah.
So guys, go to the website. You guys
Facts.
just had a whole
7emeraldsmedia.com. You know, we have an
Seven-
official website. Like I said earlier, that's my brand. That's me and my partner's brand. And definitely check that out. You know, it's dope. We got music, we got merch, we got videos.
yeah.
You
So
know, we just have a bunch of things to consume. You know, and you know that's how you could support us. You know, support our passion. You know, word. You know, support black businesses.
yeah, and then I do want to get it. I do want to highlight
Yeah.
the Seven Emeralds Media, because I
Word.
also document too. So it's like I also
Yeah,
do
facts.
media. So I feel like people don't know like how much work it goes into
Yeah.
like just doing media. Period.
Yes, it is.
So definitely tap in with them. They have merch for sale.
Facts.
On the
I
website.
this is one of my shirts too.
There you go.
JHershey, you know.
There
And
you go.
we also got the Cosmic Rock shirt as well with the artwork on it. Yeah. Again, Charlie the Third, shout out to you. And yeah, you know, we got mad merch. We got a couple shirts, couple jackets. We got more stuff coming soon. You know,
You guys have a lot of stuff up there, so guys definitely.
yeah,
tap
no,
in.
we're constantly.
The
Oh
link is
shit, this
definitely
hat
gonna
too.
be-
This hat is on there
and,
too.
and the links are definitely gonna be in the bio of this video, guys. So
Word.
definitely just go to
Yeah.
the bio. It's gonna be right there.
Word.
For you guys to just click it. I got
Facts,
y'all.
yeah, 7emeraldsmedia.com. I'm gonna just keep saying that.
Exactly. Also, you know, we have had conversations before, and you just mentioned it as well, that you did breaking and
Right.
dancing and all
Yeah.
of that while growing up, and you still enjoy it.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that being a part of the Olympics?
Yeah. I thought it was an opportunity to demonstrate to people that, breaking is really a lifestyle and a culture. It's not just like a fad that happened in the 80s. Like it's literally a lifestyle. It's a way that people make money. It's something that people compete with, obviously, as you can see, like a sport, I definitely it's a dance to me, at the end of the day, more than it is a sport. So there's people on both sides of the fence, in the community that were against it, that were for it. I thought it was an opportunity to see, okay, let's see how this works. But I do think that I thought the competitors did really well. Obviously, we know about Ray Gunn. I'm gonna say shout out to her. I don't think she should have been on the stage, but I think a lot of people are focusing on that viral clip. But if you actually look at the rest of the dancers, they completely killed it. Shout out to everybody that got the medals. Shout out to everybody that competed. I've been in the same. I'm not gonna be like I know, but I've been in the same places as a few of the people from America. And I've seen them around, and I've seen them for years. Like I'm talking like 10, 15 years ago. So to see them, like Sonny, Victor, to see them on the stage like that is amazing. Like for real. Like, cause like again, like I used to see them at local jams, and I'm sure I still will, cause
Wow.
B-boy is very much underground, which is why a lot of people didn't want it in the Olympics. And I do get that, but it was kind of like, yeah, like I said, it was just cool to see hip hop go that far, to see how far it's come. Like they was playing DJ Flag, I've met him as well. He was playing Wu-Tang. He was playing Live at the Barbecue. Hot music, all these records that I love, and like it's on the Olympics. I'm like, this is dope. Like,
Legendary.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But obviously the media is hyper focused on the one girl.
They're gonna do that because
Yeah.
they're gonna try to deviate from like the good about it.
Yeah,
you know
facts,
what I mean?
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's really what it
Yeah.
is.
But I would say that if anyone's gonna, if you really want to check it out for real, it's like really learn about the culture, really learn about what you're watching. And learn how important it is to hip hop culture,
Yep.
And that's another thing that like I feel like this project even represents, like I said, the dance element, I feel
Yeah.
like that's another element that's kind of like people don't really acknowledge it like that, which kind of goes back to the reason why I was interested, because I'm like, okay, here's a chance for people to see that this element is alive, and just dance in general, because there's way more dances besides just breaking, but breaking is the original hip hop dance. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, and it's like it's been kind of like hidden away because people just kind of like bop their heads at shows or whatever the case, or
exactly.
or like, but like the whole like move your body aspects is
yeah.
like it's like not cool to like dance.
Yeah,
or
and it's sad because if you look at videos of people of stuff back in the day, before our time, people were like, make dance circles, ciphers, and all that. And obviously there is communities and spaces like that, especially in New York.
And that's a vibe. Like,
no,
like,
it
remember
is.
movies like You Got Served
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah,
that?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
come on. It was like fire. It was a vibe.
And that's the thing. When they announced that, I knew that people were instantly gonna like kind of compare it to like what they see in movies and stuff. You Got Served and Step Up.
Yeah.
But
Step Up.
breaking, popping, locking, crumping, light feet, all these dances, like,
Or what about
it's
the
really
movie with
deep.
Julia?
It's really deep with the competitions and stuff, and there are parties that designated, especially in New York, designated for that type of music, but you gotta go look for it. It's
it's like mad underground.
underground,
like
yeah.
that was like OD, the original underground, like those
Word.
like clubs, like
Hell yeah.
people playing that type
Word.
of music because it wasn't.
Shameless plug, Basement. Me and my bro Kev, shout out to him. He's an amazing b-boy as well. That's my brother. He got like top 16 in the last Red Bull Cypher out here, which is a big deal if you're a b-boy. You know about that. But yeah, me and him threw in an event called Basement. We do 3 of them, and that's kind of what we were going for. Like, we're gonna play dance music. We had producers.
That's fire.
Yeah, they played dance music. We invited all the dance homies that we know. House dancers, hip hop dancers, breakers, lockers, poppers. Like I said, people just having a good old time. And like honestly, like, yeah, go to the basement.nyc page. You'll see what I'm talking about. Basement.ny. Yeah. But that shit crazy. Yeah, we got some video clips. Like, that's the type of energy at parties like that. I think it's something that everybody could enjoy for real, like you said, if people knew about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like people just have to try new things because it's
Yeah,
just
I
like
mean-
you shouldn't want to try new things because I feel like as we get older, we start liking new things.
No, that's
We
a
start
fact.
right?
There's a lot of people that will come to like, even the beat shows, and you could tell that they're like older people, and like you could tell like they're like trying it out for the first time. And they're like, oh shit, this shit is dope. It's so cool, but they probably never would have stumbled on that.
Yeah.
Unless they, however they got into it, they got into it later in life, But I feel like, and that's the same thing for me. Like, I didn't get into making beats until later. Word.
Yeah, making beats is
So,
cool. I like to do
yeah.
it too, but I don't take it serious, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Like
I mean, that's how
it's
it
just for
always,
fun.
that's how certain things start. I mean, sometimes you
Yeah.
just try something, and then sometimes you find something and it ends up being your passion, like you did with
Yeah.
podcasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like this takes all my time. But
Nah,
I'll
exactly.
do
It's the
it
same
here
thing
and
with
there.
making music. That's kind of the, it's part of the reason why I fell back from a lot of the other things I was into, But I tried I tried a couple things.
Yeah.
To be honest, like I said earlier, I tried skateboarding. I was a super long time ago, and I was trying to play sports, but I ain't gonna lie, I was too
Yeah.
crazy at it. But then I got into breaking. Dancing was a big part of my life. For 15 years, it's still something I involuntarily dance. Like people have to tell me, yo, you just danced walking down the street. I'm like, I
Yeah.
didn't even know I was doing that. Like, but that's something I heard since high school. People thought I was crazy. I am crazy, but
Would
I was always bugged out, popping, just
pop
doing
like
this
and
shit
dropping, pop like
down
and
the hallway.
dropping.
Like that's how I've been. That's what as you know, that's why I incorporate into my beat show. So dancing is still very much
Yeah.
there.
I know, I've been
But
there.
it's,
Like
yeah, but it's
when
definitely
you-
taking like a back seat to like making just how hard I've been going making music because, like I said, it is something I'm passionate about. But like I tried mess. I tried poetry, freestyle, freestyle rapping. That was
it's
another-
hard.
Yeah, I mean that I was doing that for a very long time as well. Like what I mean, like if someone's playing a beat, like I'll freestyle, but it's not something I took serious, like you said.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's how life is. You try things and eventually you find something that
Yeah.
Six,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Like you find what is the best for you,
word absolutely, absolutely.
When you freestyle, do you just go off the dome? Or, like, is it like stuff that you already remembered?
Nah,
Like
well,
recycle
well,
bars.
actually, because
Or
I ain't gonna lie,
both?
like I'm not gonna lie, right? I actually break down rap a lot. So there's two different, like you actually just said it. There's two different types of freestyle. There's freestyle where you take a rhyme that you have, that you like, you just save it for a cipher.
Exactly.
But then there's also freestyle coming off the head. A lot of people will argue about that, but they're actually two different definitions. It's like the New York one and the California one. Like, if you
Really?
really do the history, yeah.
For real?
In New York, like Big Daddy Kane, freestyle meant to have the rhyme,
In
but
like,
in Cali, they made it off the head.
okay, off the dome.
Yeah, off the dome. Yeah, but
So-
eventually that became the main.
Yeah,
the
like
main,
that's
what
the
freestyle's supposed to
standard.
be. Yeah, yeah.
But
like,
it's hard to do.
yeah,
that.
I mean, it's fun to do it off the dome. Like that was why I like doing that type of freestyle because it was fun. Like,
Yeah.
You just and like I would like play the game in college. Like we would throw words at each other. You just have to try to rhyme the word, and you just keep going and.
that sharpens you up though.
Nah,
Like,
yeah, word, yeah, nah, like it's fun. Like I ain't gonna lie, freestyle is fun. Like I said, like that's something I do in my spare time. If the vibe is there, we're all chilling. Someone
Why
throws on
not?
a beat, and I'm like, I bet.
Would you do like a dance, like a dance album with an artist, like a
Yeah, like
like a EDM, like a techno type?
oh,
thing?
like EDM,
Yeah,
like
like
just straight EDM music.
not really, but like something like along those lines.
Like I see what you're saying. Yeah, like if as long as the energy makes sense and I'm inspired to do it, I would do it. Yeah,
I feel
but
like
if
I
I
could
if
see
I
you
if I
doing,
feel
like a
the
random
inspiration,
album with like
yeah.
something totally different. I feel like you
Word.
could do that.
Nah, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely down. Like one type of music that do got EDM elements is drum and bass. It's like they're really fast.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
like about them. The drums.
Yeah,
Like,
I be
I
really wanting to get into that jungle music.
I really like this guy. He's a DJ. His name is Gordo.
Oh, word. Yeah, I think I heard
He's
of him.
fire.
Yeah, word.
Like, he's really good. So
Nah, word.
it's just like he made me believe because I haven't listened to that stuff since like 2009.
Nah, word.
And then when I started listening to his stuff, I was like, "What?" He made me like
Yeah.
believing in it again.
Nah, word. But I kind of relate to that because like how I was saying, how you were saying earlier, like the electronic sound kind of went away.
Yeah.
Like in that era, like I was listening to dubstep and shit back then.
Yeah.
So that's
I really
it's
didn't
still
like
in
dubstep,
me.
though.
Yeah, dubstep kind
Did
of
you?
got it. Kind of got
It
went,
got like
it
it
kind of
sounded
got crazy.
like chopped and screwed. Like I don't know. It was like very
Shit.
like
But
I don't know.
yeah, no, I mean, I listen to a bunch of different things, like like how I said, like when you're finding where your lane you kind of try other things, you know, and along the way you start liking other things. Like, you know, I listened to punk rock for a little bit at one time. I was listening to alternative rock a lot, like the Gorillas and shit. I was a really hardcore
the
Gorillas fan. Yeah, I'm still a big Gorillas fan.
Yeah, they're fire.
But yeah, I went through a whole era where I was listening to like a lot of just different
Just bands
types of
in
music.
general, like they're
I be
like
listening to noise music.
yeah, anything. I listen to all kinds of stuff. Like I like
word.
Paramore.
Nah, word, yeah.
Paramore
Yeah,
is
that shit
fire.
classic. Like Linkin Park was huge.
All kinds
to
of
me.
stuff. Linkin Park.
Word.
All kinds of stuff, really.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And like I said, when I be going through the 70s stuff, I'll be listening to like, you know, a lot of Jimi Hendrix, stuff like that.
What
The Doors.
what's like your sampling process? Do you like dig through like crates or do you like
I don't discriminate on where you get the sample from. Like,
but do you have a preference?
I do crate dig.
Yeah.
Crate digging would be the preference. There's been a whole time where I went like a 3-month stretch of I was just taking shit off YouTube. I was just straight taking it off YouTube.
Oh yeah.
I've sampled on my Switch, my Nintendo Switch.
That's cool.
Yeah. I've, you know, a couple different things, yeah. The Switch thing is new for me recently. I've been sampling off my Switch. Yeah. I ain't gonna say too much. I'm gonna just say it like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I gotta tap in.
I would just say that, yeah.
So right, because you never know. They're
Word.
watching. They're watching. So doing music because you've been doing music for a long time and you've had all kinds of projects, different projects. Where would you say like what could you say about your career for when it first started versus now? Like how do you see that journey in your perspective?
Oh wow.
Now.
When I first started, it was very much just like a hobby that I was just doing, like, you know, when I got home from work. But over time, it just became more serious, you know? Like, I started to get in touch with certain people. Certain people were getting wind of the music. Because at first it was like, I don't know how people are going to react to what I'm doing, you know? And then I had to go through the era of like, do I even care how people react? Am I doing it for that, or am I just doing it because I like to do it?
Right.
And I kept doing it because I like to do it. Love to do it. Would do it, you know, even if I had just like my phone, you know, like even if it was just a little tiny calculator that
You
can
would
make
still
beats.
do it.
Yeah. And mind you, everything I just said they have an app for that.
Yeah,
they have a little
yeah.
pocket operator. These are all the Koala app, you know, like if I had just that, I would still be doing it. But over time it got more serious. I started getting bigger equipment. I got the SP. This is my second SP.
Fire.
Yeah. So like, you know, I just started getting more equipment, synthesizers. That's something I was experimenting with a lot on this album, the synthesizer. So, you know, I just kept digging it. And like I've always loved music, so to be able to make it was always something that I'm not gonna lie, it was something that I did think about before, but I didn't know how. Because I didn't play any instruments. So as I was getting more into it,
That
was
is
like,
an instrument.
no, it is. Yeah, it is. But I had to learn how to get nice
Yeah.
with sampling and also just making beats from scratch with synthesizers, like I said. So I had to like really do the research. I had to look up how to play melodies on the keyboard, and you know, I started getting better. And then I'm always trying to get better, trying to put that 10,000 hours in.
And,
That's what I always tell myself is like, have I reached 10,000 hours yet? Probably
Do
not.
you think you have?
Honestly, I don't know. I would
think
say
you
I
have.
want to say
I think so.
I'm close because there's definitely been a lot of hours spent
Yeah,
in my room
definitely.
doing it, making the beats, performing the beats. Those
I feel
are
like
two
you
different
have-
things though.
I
Performing
feel
and
like
making
you
it.
have if you count everything creative that you've done, whether it's like
Yeah.
editing
Yeah, I did a lot
or
of video editing
you know,
too. Yeah.
because you know, once you're done with it, you got to run it back and make sure it sounds good, and then you go
Yes,
back
mixing.
in all that time. If you add all the mixing and everything,
Yeah.
I feel like 10,000 hours. Yeah.
Nah, I mean, yeah, you know what it is. You're right, but it's like, but then I have to like, in my brain, I'm just like a scientist with it because I'm not trying to like all the real shit
Facts,
because
though.
I'm always into science, you know, and it's something that is, you know, part of my alter ego life.
Really?
You know, yeah, in a way, yeah. But you know, but I've always been into science, so the science of making a beat and even like everything associated with it is you know, it's like the hours spent between each thing is different. Like the hours spent making the beat, the hours spent performing, the hours spent marketing, the hours spent mixing.
It's its own category.
Yeah, like so it's
Yeah.
like I have to. So thinking even deeper about it, it's like I have
Yeah.
to get 10,000 hours in each category.
Now you're
to
gonna
really
be. I
be
have to catch up.
exactly. But that's how I'm looking at it in my
I'm
brain.
over here thinking like, oh yeah, I already been did 10,000 hours.
No,
but
that
now
no,
it's
that's
like
a fact. It's just the way you think about it, you know. Like in my mind, it's like in my mind, when I think about it like that, it's like I still have a long way to go to really like accomplish everything I want to accomplish. Because everything I just said, I want to get better at. I want to get better at mixing. I want to get better at performing. I want to get better at the marketing, which is a whole thing that, you know, like with this project I'm experimenting with, and I don't want to put too much sauce out, but you know, dude's really been doing research on how to like market better and stuff like that, and like I can honestly say like it's going in a good direction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say that. So
But that's good.
I just want to keep learning more about shit like that and just keep working, you know. Yeah.
But that's good though. That's amazing. Congratulations,
Nah, I
because you're
appreciate
not
that.
afraid to learn. You're not afraid to sit down and be the student.
Yeah, but
You feel
I've
me?
been a nerd my whole life, so it's natural.
I like to learn too.
Nerdcore.
I like to learn. I like to read stuff. I always like to teach myself stuff. And
Nah,
if
word.
I don't know it, I don't have any problem asking. Like
Yeah.
I'm not
That's
too
that's
like,
something I struggle with. But yeah.
yeah, I have no problem asking.
Yeah,
like
that's
I'll
something I
straight
gotta
up
get better at.
ask, like, yo, how do you do this?
Right,
Like,
yeah. That's something I
don't
gotta get
know,
better
teach
at.
me.
That's something I
Yeah,
gotta get
I
better at.
used to not, but now you have to, because
Yeah, you
closed
do.
mouths don't
You
get
do.
fed. Like you
That's a
gotta
fact.
say something.
That's a fact.
People can't read your mind. You know
That's
what
a
I'm
fact.
saying?
Yeah, I
So I
wish.
feel like now that I say more, like I'm more vocal about what I need and what I want and what I want to do. I feel like it's like it manifests into like you get what you're asking
word,
for.
word, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You went to LA recently. How was that?
Oh, that was dope. That was damn. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
No, that was dope. I went to I went to LA back in April.
Yeah.
Shout out to
was a couple months
my
ago.
guy Sample. Shout out to Pres Morris too. You know, the whole Burgers and Beats. You know, all of them. You know, that was a dope lineup too. We had this dude Taki. He's he's ill as hell.
That's fire.
Word Solace. You know, it was a really dope lineup.
How was
dope.
it like
was
you
dope.
know, doing a show here versus over there? Like was it like
Yo, well, actually, you know, LA was very influential to the beat scene in general.
yeah.
You know, if you do the history on that, like I said, I'm a historian when it comes to this hip hop music shit. You know, but like they were very influential. So to go out there was dope because, you know, I feel like I was in the mecca of like the beat scene.
Yeah.
You know. And it was dope. It was a dope vibe. You know, they chill and the lineup was crazy. And I could tell, and this is like regular for them. You know, like they just have these ill ass beat makers all the time. So I'm like shit. So I
Straight
knew
heat.
I knew going out there. I'm like I gotta come with some shit.
Yeah.
But it was dope. It was dope. You know, dudes was definitely giving me props, and I give them props obviously, and like it was dope. I think I made some good connections.
That's
out there,
good.
Yeah. And it was dope vibe. I went to Super Nintendo World, and that was probably like a little bit like on the same level of what I wanted to do when I got to Cali. Like I was very hyped to be there. You know,
You're like, all right, I'll do
where
everything
I got to
wanna
take a picture of
do.
Mario and Luigi. You know what I mean? Like so that
That's
was
fire.
that was
That's
dope,
like
yeah.
listen, I would love to go see something like
Yeah.
that because I've never been to the West Coast.
It's dope. It's really dope out
And
there.
yeah,
It's
a lot of
dope
people
vibe.
tell me that I would fit in out there too, but I've
Nah,
never
hell
been
yeah,
there.
hell yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like this whole vibe that you got. Yeah, absolutely. You would definitely tap in out there, and I'm sure that people would love to tap in with you when they get out here.
I hope so. I'm
Because there's a
excited.
lot of connections between the LA and New York, you know, specifically.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of connections between a lot of the artists.
Yeah.
and
That's why a lot
and
of
it's like
people
growing
move over
every
there
day.
to like grow more.
No, that's a fact, yeah. And there's people coming from out there
It's
to
like
come over
both.
here.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
like they come here to New York, or from New York they go over
Yeah,
there. It's like-
exactly, yeah. So
it's like,
you
but
see
why
that a
do
lot.
you feel like? Why do you feel like they have to move? Why do they feel like they have to move away?
I feel like when
bigger.
people, I mean, this is kind of me just a theory. I think people, especially artists, you know, a lot of times we feel like if we move somewhere, we have a better chance of getting more like, you know, supporters, fans.
Yeah.
I like supporters over fans, but just because the supporters are people I genuinely connect with. But you know, I feel like people feel like they could find more connections moving to another place because a lot of the times, the people, and I'm sure you know this, like a lot of people around you that you grew up with, they don't really
No.
jack what you do.
They just watch.
Exactly.
But
They
it's
just
fine.
You know, it is fine. It is
It
fine.
doesn't
Like,
even
it's
get me
not
mad
even
at
what
me.
to complain about because those are your friends. Like, they're there to be your friends, you know, and your family.
Honestly,
But,
I
like-
don't really talk to a lot of people that I used to talk to, like
I
when I
understand.
first started podcasting.
Nah, I got you. I feel you on that.
You
And it's
get
like
me?
when you meet new people that meet you because of that thing, they know you for that thing and they're willing to support you for that thing.
Yeah,
so I
because
feel
I
like
feel
people,
like if
Yeah.
I see them go and promote, let's say their coworker selling like candy,
Yeah, yeah.
and they'll go and repost that brand new candy page with 10
Yeah, yeah,
followers,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but then
Exactly.
can't repost my podcast that I've had for 6 years,
Nah,
I feel like we
word.
got a problem.
Nah, word. But that's what it
So, and I'm the type of person
Yeah.
that I'm gonna say something.
Nah, word.
So just to avoid that whole thing,
Yeah. Nah, I feel you though.
I
Like
just step away from the situation.
I feel you. Like a lot of us artists, a lot of us independent, creators, we go through that where we go through that period where we're questioning the people supporting
Yeah,
around
I
us.
already
But
passed it.
at the end of the day, it's kind of like I feel like the best way to look at it is like you got to find people that they're meeting you for this.
Yeah.
So like the people I've met through making beats. This kind of goes back to the original question, like of how the journey's been. I've met so many people through making music, and these people are people that I connect with on a somewhat regular basis. It keeps going. Like they hit me up. They're like, oh, I heard this project. I got people that send me samples because they love my music. And they just love what I do in general. Like they just send me music. Like, yo, can you try to flip this? Like just out of curiosity. Like, let me see if you could do it.
That's
like
fire.
meeting people like that online. Like I'm not gonna lie. I kind of dialed it back now just to like focus on life and stuff. But I was really active on Twitter and Instagram and at one point Facebook.
But it's so many apps. Like it's
Yeah,
so many
it is. Yeah, it is. And
it's
sometimes
like,
it gets
that's a
overwhelming.
whole job.
It is a whole job, and it gets it's draining.
Yeah, I feel like.
But like I feel like made a lot of connections with people
But you do.
from the outside world,
Right.
And those people, the way they support you is different. Well, if they really love what you do, they will support you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I feel like the reason why you'll probably agree with this, what makes me keep going and keep dropping episodes and keep like creating content, doing the things that I do, are those conversations that I have off for the record, that in my DMs when people hit me up and we bond over like just an artist that I interviewed recently in the project, and like, oh, did you hear this? Like, oh, and then we like share like 3-4 artists with each other.
Hell yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like those little convos of like, oh, I saw your this episode, and when you said this, like, yo, that's true. Like, just those little convos, like what makes us keep
hell
going,
yeah. I've met a lot of people online where we have that same exact thing. Like we send each other like our favorite albums. And, we have debates and all that. Those people know who they are if they see this. Or but it's a whole bunch of people that I've met like that. People in real life and online, and I feel like that's part of marketing.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like it's so easy now to have control over everything, but then it also comes with like you have to have that persona too.
You gotta have the persona. You gotta have the exceptional
it comes
art
with the package.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and it's a lot. It's a lot of things that you gotta actually sit down and say, okay, what do I need to improve on, and what should I maybe stop doing as much, continue doing more, put more energy into. There's a lot that goes into marketing yourself and making connections with people.
Exactly.
You don't want to make connections with the wrong people. You want to be mindful of, and all of that shit is a learning experience for me. Like I'll be honest with that. Like it's all been a learning experience. I'm obviously still learning and just trying to get better at everything.
Yeah, I feel like every day we learn more and more about one another, or about ourselves too. And we have to work on becoming like if you work 1% every day to become a better person, by the end of the year, that's 365% more better than the year before.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So it's like all you gotta do is just a little bit every day goes a long way. It's like work. It's like if you want to lose weight, if you start working out today, you're not gonna lose 20 pounds tomorrow.
Yeah,
but if you go 3 months to the gym, you're gonna lose the 20 pounds. So it's just about consistency.
It's a consistent.
Who's gonna outwork?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and I'm sure as you know as well, it's like it's really a test of like your own mental, patience and your threshold of like how long you could stay doing something. But as long as you love it, you keep going.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm here.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's get into a little bit of like what is next for JHershey. What's next for you?
Next is definitely more shows. I want to travel to more places. Like I went to Cali. I want to go honestly international.
Yeah. I don't see why not.
And I would love to get further with I love to get my music into more places, like TV shows and video games and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
I just stuff that it's not even like I don't want to say it on some like secretive shit. It's like I don't have a limit. Like
Yeah.
like I feel like I'll always want to try some new things with my
Yeah.
music. You know,
Just test the limits of
but
where it could go. Cause it
but
could,
I could say. I'm sorry to cut you off.
no, go
But
ahead.
I could say as a concrete answer to that, definitely more projects.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's all about time. But I'm gonna have more releases. I'm gonna be making more albums, more physicals, more collaborations. You know, I will drop executive producing. Other people, yeah, word, yeah. I didn't even
That's
say too
one
much.
thing that I didn't want to
Yeah.
highlight because I had a conversation with said artist. I'm not gonna say because it's not
Yes.
out yet.
Yeah.
But
So
I
you know
had
what
a
I'm talking
conversation
about.
with somebody recently, and they shared with me that they worked with you, like you gave them a beat for a song that they're very excited about dropping.
Word.
And
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure if it's out yet. I think it is. I'm not sure, but I have to double check before I
Yes.
talk about it. It is out.
Yes.
Love Gauge.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
Love
shout out
Gauge.
to Love Gauge.
Eternal Light.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's out now. Shout out to Love Gauge. Yeah, we
shout
do
out to
drop
Love
something.
Gauge. Yeah.
And yeah, I got a couple. There's some
So
other
I'm like, yeah.
collaborations
So
on
it's
the
just
way
like,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you got some shit coming up. Like,
Yeah.
you
Word.
gonna
Yeah.
be.
No, it's out now. He just dropped that yesterday, I believe. And yeah. Well,
Yeah, I've been busy. That's
I don't
why.
want to say the other one.
But
Not
you see,
that
shout
I
out
don't want
to-
to say it, but I feel like that person has to say it.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
see, like,
But
just know,
yeah,
my boy working.
something really big
He
coming.
working.
Something really, so a few things really big are coming, but I could definitely say be on the lookout for more instrumental projects as always. That's always gonna be something associated with me. Yeah.
And I do want to ask you a question because I already asked you what advice would you give your younger self. So you already answered that on the show. So today's question to conclude would be, what advice would you give to your future self?
Oh
If you
shit.
could give advice to your future self.
That's a really interesting question. Man, I would say just keep that vision alive, Keep the vision that you have right now alive, no matter how hard it may get. Just keep that vision alive.
Keep that
because
vision alive. Keep
I feel
creating.
like the momentum right now is real. Yeah.
Thank you.
And positive energy activates constant elevation. Peace.
Listen, I feel like we could sit here all day. We could talk about so many things.
Word.
But I definitely want everybody, please, guys, tap in with JHershey.
Yeah.
All things creative. Tap in with the physical product.
Word.
Tap in with
Definitely.
the Seven Emeralds
Get
Media
that.
as well. Tap in with him.
7emeraldsmedia.com.
If you have events coming up and you have a budget, tap in with your boy. And then and if you want beats, tap in with your boy.
Yes. If you looking to work, just hit me up. It's definitely a thing where I will say, we gotta really get to know each other.
Exactly.
Have an energy. Really collaborate.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna send you a bunch of shit. We gotta really build about what you're trying to do and stuff like that.
Exactly. You see?
But it's definitely business, and it's definitely I'm available. I'm very reachable. As mysterious as some people may feel like I am. It's just weird. It's almost like I feel like I be at places, and then I guess I give off that mysterious aura, and then people don't really want to. They don't know how to approach or whatever. But I'm very you could always just talk to me.
The thing is that
dudes
people
is not on no type
are-
of bougie shit or anything like that.
People are socially awkward.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm socially awkward myself, so I get that. But it's kind of like, if you're really working on some music, or you're really trying to build on some music stuff, or you just build as people, if you just,
Or just talk.
yeah,
say
word.
something.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
yeah.
People be like, "Oh, I saw you. Why didn't you say nothing?"
Word, yeah. Yeah.
Like if I saw you and then you DM me the next day and say I saw you, okay, why didn't you say nothing?
Right, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know me? So it
Exactly.
is what it is.
Yeah, no, yeah, it is what it is. That's the thing, even navigating meeting new people in public, I feel like I'm still learning how to better do that. But nowadays I'm kind of just if I see someone that's dope, and like I know they're dope, or I just saw them perform, I'll go up to them and be like, "Yo, you're this person, right?" Because sometimes you might follow someone already, like shit like
Yeah.
that. Like I'll see somebody, oh shit, I'm like, "Yo, you this person, right?" Be like, yeah, I'm like, yeah,
I'm
what's
not
good?
gonna lie.
Like I've done that multiple times,
I'm not gonna lie.
Like
There's
word.
times that I don't say nothing.
No, it's really because like
But
I'm an introvert, so my energy changes.
yeah.
Sometimes I'll be somewhere and I'm my friends will probably love to point this out when it's happening. I just like shut down, like I'm just. Like I'm aware, guys. I know I'm doing that.
Yeah.
People have to tell me, like, "Yo, are you good?" Like I'm sure a lot of everybody that knows me will be like, "Oh yeah," but like that's me in public. Sometimes if I'm like that, people might not know. That means my social battery just shot, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But I might be there for a reason. I might be waiting to see someone perform and they last.
Exactly.
I might be waiting on someone specific, but I don't know how to interact. Like
I feel like my face
not
doesn't
that I know
change
how, but like it's just the energy's not there.
Yeah, I get you.
But like
That's
usually if I
happened to me.
just get somewhere and I'm seeing people, I'm like, oh shit was good. But like
Yeah.
as the night goes on, I'm like, okay, I
Okay,
gotta
more tired,
yeah.
more tired.
And that's the thing, yeah, I'm introvert, yeah. So it's part of the
Especially if
series.
it's like breaks in the event and then you're like going in and out, you're like, yo.
Yeah,
and
facts,
then you're
yeah.
waiting
yeah.
for like one thing.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then you're like, yo, I gotta
and like
wait.
my mind is just it's like if I zone out, it's some next shit. My mind like entertains itself and I just be there, watching fucking an acid trip in my brain. But I'm sober.
You're just like, yeah, it's just spaced out.
Yeah, exactly. Word. Yeah.
On that note, where can everybody follow you?
Yeah, absolutely. Cause I'm definitely gonna forget to say that. JHershey Music, on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Now I'm trying to use TikTok a little bit more.
Yeah.
Also on all streaming platforms, just JHershey, the letter J and then Hershey, just like the way the chocolate is spelled. All streaming platforms. I'm on YouTube too. I got a YouTube channel where you could also listen to all my music. I do eventually want to get. This goes back to what's the next question. I do eventually want to drop more videos on my main channel, and then you could also find me at 7mwasme.com or the 7mm YouTube channel. So 7M, 2M's. Go to that YouTube channel. You see, all of our music videos. That's my partner AWOL, the Mind Writer. Shout out to him. I'm trying to do more videos on both my YouTube channel and both YouTube channels. I'm trying to do. Yeah.
The visuals that you guys did with Ames Creative was
amazing.
Work.
Shout out to Ames. Shout out
you guys did, like shout out to him. Shout out to all of y'all. That like was
him.
amazing.
He's an amazing videographer.
Yes.
Shout out to Just Kev, amazing photographer. Shout out to Elias Williams. Shout out to Charlie III. Shout out to all these talented people, Misfit Sleep.
It takes a village, man.
Yeah.
It takes a village.
Facts. Shout out to my breaking crew, Floor Militia. Shout out to Anomaly Conglomerate. That was a collective that I was in, that I'm still in, Kaizen Club, all the New York beat scene people, they know who they are. Shout out to all you guys.
Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out. Thank you, JHershey. Thank you for being here.
Shout out to you. Shout out to the Sabrosa podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Shout out to you. Shout out to, cheers to more creative ventures for you and to be booked and busy from here to infinity and just
I'm waiting for you. Yeah. If you need some music, tap in,
Tap in, y'all.
I'm working on my DJ game too.
Yo, tap in, y'all. Book your boy. Book your boy.
Shit.
Thank you. Thank you so much for another episode of the Sabrosa podcast. We're here at the Sesh House. We got Remy on the ones and twos.
Hey.
We got JHershey in the building.
Hey.
We out, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
cabriolet. Know me, know who you are, but I got something to say. I swear to only give you hot shit every day. Afraid of us, you know this ain't the game to us. You strange to us, this when we getting dangerous.